What can you bring to the company? Today I'm sharing an example answer to this question and the key areas that you can take away and use in your own interview to make your answer impactful and memorable in the eyes of the interviewer. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do tap the notification bell so that you never miss a video. So what can you bring to the company is an introductory question. Introductory questions are questions like, tell me about yourself, what made you apply for this job, talk me through your CV or resume. We call a resume a CV in the UK. They're questions that are typically asked at the beginning of your interview, and they're important because you want to impress right at the beginning of your interview. You want to make a good first impression. So it's important that you understand how to approach this question, but you also want to be prepared for the most common interview questions because this is where candidates tend to fall down in the eyes of the interviewer. So you can check out the top 22 most common interview questions and answers in this video. I'll link it in the description box below. Now, you might also be asked, what can you bring to this company? What can you bring to the role? What skills can you bring to this job? What can you contribute to the company? What will you bring to the company if we hire you? So do listen out carefully for any of those variations of the question, what can you bring to the company? How to structure your answer. So in terms of how to structure your answer, I would say that there are 3 areas to cover so that you can triple layer your answer in the most powerful way. So 1, set the interviewer's expectations. 2, reference company specifics. And 3, link your relevant key skills to the job description. So the interviewer's asking you what you can bring, so they want to know what's relevant. The biggest mistake that I see here is candidates just reeling off their experience and skills, forgetting to link it to what would be relevant in the interviewer's eyes. Setting expectations. So first is setting expectations. So how do you do that? You start your answer with something along the lines of, I have multiple skills that I think would add value to this company, or there are multiple areas of my experience that I think I could bring to the company. So why I start like this is when you start off by saying I have a combination of skills, it sets the interviewer's expectations and tells them that you're about to share multiple things, and they're less likely to stop you partway through your answer. And you're also making them aware that you have researched the multiple ways that you suit this role before your interview. Reference company specifics. So second, you're referencing company specific. So what I mean by this is specific areas of the company that link with either something you've done before or your personal beliefs. So let's say that the company has a focus on well-being, and so do you. Then you can talk about why that's important to you, and this demonstrates that you've taken the time to research beforehand, but it also demonstrates key areas where you link with the company. You're making it easy for the interviewer to see the link. Example answer. So if you were linking this to something that you've done or your experience, then you could include something like, I noticed on the company website that there is a lot of focus on building your social media presence. I watched a clip of the company's announcements for the next year before my interview, and the marketing officer mentioned that this would be a focus. I've managed similar digital projects in my last position, so I think I could bring those skills to the company. So this answer indicates thorough company research before your interview. It would definitely impress an interviewer. So when you say something like, I noticed on the website, this shows that you were looking at the website and preparing before your interview. So let's say this was the job description, just an example that I created. Let's pretend that this was the job you were going for. You would mention any experience that you have with upselling and cross-selling to show that you could add value to the company here, where it says cross-selling opportunities to increase value, or here where it says opportunities to turn dissatisfied customers into happy customers. You could talk about your experience dealing with or handling complaints and resolving them successfully, or an idea that you came up with that resulted in a better experience for customers or clients. Now, of course, this is just an example. You would pick an area in the role that matches with something that you've done before. So if it were linked to your personal beliefs, you could include an example like, I also noticed from multiple sources that your company has a focus on community efforts and volunteering. Giving back and volunteering are very closely connected with my personal values, and I felt very connected to that purpose. In addition to the company's recent growth and success, I would love to work for a company that holds all of those values and accomplishments. So you're pulling multiple areas together there. Link your relevant skills to the job description. So this was the third area that I mentioned earlier, but it continues on with the same theme. So here you want to pick key areas that link to your experience. So for example, I'm interested in this job because of the focus on the development of technical skills, and I noticed that there were at least 3 areas in the job description under key responsibilities that would require someone that has developed these skills at a basic foundational level. In my last role, I built a really strong foundational set of technical skills that I could bring to the company. So here's a full example answer, pulling together all of those areas. So the question is, what could you bring to the company? A full example answer is, I think there are many things I could bring. I believe a combination of skills is what would be required to make a difference within this company, but also within the role and the team. While doing a bit of digging beforehand, I noticed in some of the press releases online that the company is going through expansion. I've been quite heavily involved in the building of new teams, which is something I know is heavily required in this role, but it was also a key achievement for me. I played a lead role in the hiring, assessing, and training of 3 new whole teams to support the expansion in our European regions. Also, while looking at the job description, I saw an area where I really thought I could add value, specifically relating to the new product development. I'd love to share some more on that. Would you like to know a little bit more about some of the new products I was involved in working on? So the reason I ended the answer with a question is because the answer as it is nails all of the points that an interviewer would be looking for, and it could end up being quite long. So if you know that you have more examples to share, then it's quite powerful to end your answer with a question like that, because you're giving control back to the interviewer, and they can then tell you if they want to know more at that point. Or they might say, you know, that's fine, that's quite enough, those examples are absolutely fine, which is when you know that you nailed the question. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, you can leave a comment below letting me know what you need help with, or you can buy me a coffee. There is a link on how to do that in the description box below this video. So here are some of the other areas where you can match yourself to key company areas in response to this question, where you could bring something to the company that you could share in your interview. Recent public successes. So the company might have won an award in a particular area that you specialize in or have had exposure to, or even acquired a company that might be linked to your previous skills in some way. Company values. In terms of what you can bring, here you can match your personal values that align with a specific area of their company values, such as charity work or giving back, like the example I used earlier. Projects you've managed or been a part of where you know the company has carried out similar projects. Systems, so any systems experience that is the same or similar to systems that are required in the role. D&I, or diversity and inclusion, if the company is stating that D&I is important to them and you have any exposure in this area, I highly recommend you mention it, because it is a massive focus for companies at the moment. New ideas, improvements, or projects. So if you enjoy participating in new projects or coming up with new ideas, and the company's looking for anything like innovation or creativity, absolutely do share this. But you also want to be fully prepared for all of the most difficult questions, which you can do by grabbing a copy of this free guide. It covers the top 20 interview questions and answers, and it's in the description box for you below this video, and it's totally free. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck in your interview. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. I always love to hear positive outcomes and give advice on areas that you can refocus on if it doesn't go the way that you planned, and I'll see you in the next video.